What's up, everybody? Welcome to Discourse and Chill. I'm Ian,
And I'm your girl Reese.
and this is 12 things that we should normalize in 2021.
Number one, platonic friendships and going on friends' dates. Ian, you and I have been very close for a long time, and our relationship has been platonic 100%. Sometimes people confuse what we have in our friendship. They try to put us together and the whispers and all the oh yeah, they together, they sleeping together, whatever. Bruh, cut it out. That's my homie. Like we down like 4 flats, okay? um so I think it's really important to stop putting labels on people's friendships and or relationships. Like, listen, if I say that's my friend, that's my friend. Period. Okay.
Facts. Like, we have been friends for 10 years plus, I think,
Yeah.
and there have been plenty of hangouts, friend dates, 100% platonic. Like, I definitely think it's something that we should normalize in 2021, and we should normalize it a lot sooner.
Definitely,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let that be my friend and cut it out. Period.
Period. Number two, men showing emotion. Now, this is something that I have struggled with for two reasons. One, I don't emote very well, and it has nothing
At
to do with
all.
the fact that I'm a man. It has everything to do with how I'm wired. But it is okay to cry. It is okay to be frustrated. It is okay to show emotion. It is okay to say that you can't handle something for everyone, especially men, especially black men. It doesn't make you soft. It doesn't make you anything, any kind of negative connotation that you can think of. It doesn't make you that. It just makes you human. We all have emotions. We all show emotions. Well, I take that back. We don't all show emotions, but we all should show emotions and be very, very comfortable about showing emotions and doing the things that all humans do. So stop holding back. Stop like thinking that you're less than just because you show emotions.
I definitely agree with that. I feel like as women, we get together and we have like those crying sessions. We cry, we laugh, we get angry, we talk about everything under the sun. We go through all the spectrum when it comes down to emotions. And I feel like men should do that more with each other. I feel like it's okay for men to get together and have those conversations or discuss those feelings or just cry. Like you all carry a lot of weight just as women do, but we process and have that outlet. So I feel like men should be allowed to have the outlet and not have to hold in those emotions and or try to hide or express them by themselves.
100% agree. And there's nothing else that needs to be said about it. So,
Number three, calling your friends out for their toxic behavior. Listen, we are not doing a service to our friends if we allow them to be trash human beings and treat people horribly. Like, toxic behavior when you see it. You don't allow that person to do it to you. So, as their friend, you should be able to call them out and say, hey, bruh, or hey, sis, like, that's not it. You got something going on. Do we need to talk? But you cannot allow your friends to be toxic AF just because.
absolutely not. Like, you're not doing your friend any any service. You're not doing the community any service. You know what I mean? Like, it is not just about you two. Like, it is about how people should engage, period. Like, we have to be able to stand up and be like, look, like, we need to talk and have that hard conversation about your friend's toxic behavior so they can change it. And if they don't want to
Right.
change it, then you should, maybe reconsider your friendships.
Okay. And you don't have to call them out in front of like a crowd of people. You know what I'm saying? You can
Of
pull them to the
course.
side. We're not saying that you have to embarrass your friend in front of, crowds or whatnot. But definitely if you see something toxic, listen, let's figure out what this is. Let me help you work through that so that you're not out here being just trash. You
Number number 4, inclusion, diversity, equity for everybody. Like, I think this
Yes.
is super important. I believe that everybody should have the same opportunity. I know that it's not always the same. Like, I know there's preferences and all kinds of human behaviors and all kinds of stigma attached to different classes and races of people. But we have to try to find space to invite everybody to the table. America claims to be this melting pot of people, but American businesses, Fortune 500, the
Mm-hmm.
Oscars, the Grammys, like there's a bunch of cinema, there's a bunch of institutions in America that aren't melting pots. So we need to
Yeah.
figure out a way to bring everybody to the table, have some
Mhm.
inclusion, find places that we can be as diverse as possible, and then make sure that there's equity for the people that are at the table.
Yeah, this is definitely a big one, especially when it comes down to everybody's voice being heard and it being like multicultural without there being some kind of fight or pushback.
Mhm.
Listen, everybody has an opportunity or should have an opportunity to sit at the table and be able to speak on what's going on and be respected and heard in that regard.
Absolutely. We live in a country where presidencies, vice presidencies, senators, governors, there just hasn't been diversity in that place, and there hasn't been representation in the same way that this country exists. And we need to find a way to be better in the places that are grassroots and the places that are apparently or theoretically up on high.
Number five, saying no. No is a complete sentence. Period. Being able to say no in all aspects of no, be it you want to go out tonight? No. Can you come in on your day off and work? No. Do you want to hook up with me? No, especially that part. Ladies, you are allowed to say no with how you share your body and with whom you share your body. So, no is a complete sentence. We're going to normalize saying no in 2021 and to the end of time. No is a complete sentence. I think everybody should be able to say no and not feel guilty or guilt tripped about their no.
Exactly, I totally agree. And I'm talking to the men right now, like especially about the part when you hear the woman say no, and your response shouldn't be "but baby" or "why not" or anything
Okay.
else. It's just an acceptance
Right.
of the no. Like
Right.
clearly she not comfortable. Clearly it ain't you. Clearly whatever's happening ain't it. So
Okay.
just maybe you got to look in the mirror. Maybe you didn't create an environment to make her feel comfortable. So therefore, that
Okay.
ain't on her. That's on you, homie. So when you hear
Okay.
no, back up, back off,
Right.
and sit down.
Okay. We not just putting the head in 2021.
At
Okay.
all.
No.
At all. At all. If she says no,
No.
it's just a no.
Right.
It's a no until
Yeah.
it's an
Throw the whole phrase
enthusiastic
away.
yes. All right, number six, we got gender equality and equity. This kind of plays to what I said before, but I want to specifically touch on this one because there still ain't equal pay. There still
Mhm.
ain't equal pay for women in the workplace. And 2020 was, in some estimations, a step back for a lot of women who had to then take care of household chores, work, or they had to step out of the workplace so they could take care of the household. Fellas, why like washing dishes ain't gendered. You ain't got to be a woman to wash dishes or vacuum or take care of kids. Like
Okay.
you in a partnership, a relationship where you're supposed to help each other, so y'all should be doing that.
Right.
CEOs, like businesses, women in the workplace are a plus. There have been studies shown that women contribute to diversity, growth, all kinds of positive outcomes. So why can't we get more women CEOs, women VPs, women presidents in the workplace? Like it's a positive effect to have women in the workplace. So put them in places, empower them, and then also give them the equity to have the same voice at the table when you put them at the table. Don't put them at the table just because it looked good. Put them at the table because they're
Right.
smart enough and can handle their own there and allow them to do so.
Right. And especially if said woman is doing more than you're doing for
How
the
you
job,
doing?
for the company, in the advancement of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
we bring a lot to the table And not saying that men do not, however, our value is not equal to that of what men bring to the table, even when we are bringing more to said table. Ian mentioned, Corona and women having to take a step back. It's really crazy because not only did men go into working from home, women went to working from home, but they also were tasked with virtual learning. So they had to make sure that they were doing their work and helping the teachers with the kids. And fella, what were you doing? Sitting there with a shirt on and no pants? It's not the same. Like, listen, equal pay. Just pay me my worth. And if you
Mhm.
feel like I am not worthy, at least pay me what you think this man is worth, because clearly I'm working harder than he is.
All facts, all facts.
Number 7, telling young men to be celibate and wait until marriage too. We always put it on the girls. As growing up, it was always keep your legs closed, keep your legs closed. Don't wait till marriage, wait till marriage. Don't have sex, don't be loose. But can we start having this conversation with young men too? Because it's clear that young women aren't having sex by themselves. They have to have it with young men too. So listen, can we share the responsibility of waiting and saving and being pure across the board? If you're gonna tell it to your daughter, tell it to your son too.
Facts. I actually wrote a poem about this very thing, how virginity for women is this pure thing, and how virginity for men is this thing that they have to try to get rid of. We have to change that narrative like we do. Virginity, you were born a virgin. That's all the weight that should be placed on that is
Yeah.
everybody's born the same in that way. Yes, we need to start telling young men, like, if that's our value system, first of all, if that's our value system where celibacy is important, you have to tell young women and men to wait until marriage, to hold off, to be
Yeah.
responsible. It is not the woman's responsibility to accept or pursue or to deny or any of those things. It is a mutual partnership when it comes to sex. Fellas, that was for you. Mutual partnership when it comes. That means both of y'all say yes. Consent is 100% important. We might have to
Yeah.
add that to the end of the list. Consent needs to be
Right.
normalized in 2020 as well. But we have
Okay.
to
I was
make
about to
sure.
say that. Yes,
We got to make
normalize
sure.
consent in 2021.
Yes, we got to make sure that we are telling these young men the same thing that we are telling these young women. If that's
Hmm.
something that, is important to us. Like, if you're out there
Yeah.
spreading that message, it got to be for everybody. It can't just be
Yeah.
for women to be responsible for. All right, number 8. This one gonna hurt some of y'all, but I don't care. Uh, America has never been great.
Never.
There have been some great moments in America. There have been some amazing accomplishments in America. We have gotten independence. We have created documents that people can like refer to, but those documents aren't inherently great because they had to be amended to include everybody. America has never been great, but the good thing about America is that we want to be. So that's the part that we have to anchor to is that there's a desire for collective greatness in this country. So we have to be inclusionary. We have to have diversity and equity at the table. We got to have representation. We got to like women have to feel protected. There has to be, no racism maybe, that would probably be important. And maybe we should do something about, some of the poverty in this country and really try to like leverage the powers that be to really combat poverty and get rid of systemic oppression in this country for us to be great. Like this country was founded upon some great ideas, but those ideas have yet to come into fruition. And until those ideas come into fruition for everyone, then this country cannot be great. Like if the Constitution says that I have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, then I should have those things. But you know what?
Okay.
Like a cop might take my life, and that shit ain't in the Constitution. The Constitution says I have the right to vote, but I swear every couple of years my right to vote gets a little harder to accomplish. Especially depending
Hmm.
on where I live. But so yeah, America has never been great.
Never, never, never. For the people in the back, he said America has never been great. But like you said, there's opportunity there. We just have to stop trying to ignore and or sugarcoat where we are as a country and just stand firm in, you know what, sometimes America, we are toxic AF. So we need to pull our
Facts.
friend America to the side and have a conversation and be like, hey, boo, listen, you're messing up. This isn't working for the people. So there's opportunity. Let's start calling out the trash behavior and start correcting it in a way that can be heard and received and truly make quote unquote America great.
For the first time.
Yeah. All right, number 9. Minding your own business and just overall being less judgmental. Listen, I tell people all the time, what does that have to do with you? Oh well, so and so did X, Y, and Z. Did X, Y, and Z stop you from waking up? No. Did X, Y, and Z cut your check? No. Did X, Y, Z pay your mortgage, turn your lights off, or take your car? No. So why are you worried about it? 2021 and beyond, mind your business. We need to get back into making sure that we're okay and things that we are doing are for the betterment of ourselves and those around us. So, what the person did down the street that you don't even like, what they're doing has no value to your life or your day to day well being. Now, if Johnny starts doing something that starts to interrupt Sarah's life, then Sarah can say something. But until then, Sarah, mind your business. Dang.
Listen, I'm a great driver. You know why? Because I stay in my lane all the time. All the time. Stay in your lane. What's going
Okay.
on over here ain't got nothing to do with you. But if I cut you off, I totally understand you want to honk your horn. But until that time comes, like stay out of my window, stay out of my rear
Okay.
view, all like stay out of my
Right.
business. Stay in your lane,
Right.
and we can
Stay in your
keep pushing, keep it moving.
lane.
All right, y'all. Number 10, therapy. Yes,
Yes.
I said it. Therapy. It's important.
Yes.
Like we talked about it in season 1 about having a toolbox to handle everything that life comes like brings to you. And sometimes
Yeah.
you don't have everything you need to handle the thing that comes to your life. So sometimes you just need
Yeah.
somebody to talk to. I'm not saying everybody needs like medication, but if you do, so what? We're going to stop stigmatizing therapy. We're going to stop stigmatizing medication. We're going to stop stigmatizing the idea that you are less than just because you went to therapy. Like therapy is a
Yeah.
tool, like financial literacy is a tool. Like knowing these
Yeah.
things and knowing these things about yourself is only going to help make you a better person. So you may need some therapy after 2020. Hell, you might have need therapy before 2020. But that's a good excuse if you're still not comfortable, Like if you toxic, you
Yeah.
might need some therapy, If you blame
Hmm.
stuff on other people, you might need some therapy. If you always
Right.
in other folks' business, you might need some therapy.
You might need some
But we
therapy.
not we not here to judge at all. We
Yeah.
accept it because therapy is okay. It is just going to give you the tools that
Yeah.
you need to be a better you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big advocate for therapy. I've said it all in season 1. I think I've already said it here in season 2. I commend people who say I'm going to go to therapy, who actively go to therapy. I would like for therapy to be more affordable across the
Mm,
board, so people aren't trying to make decisions like, oh, can I afford to go to therapy?
mm,
Can I feed my kids? We definitely need to work on that and making America great, making sure that therapy is affordable across the board, but definitely going to therapy needs to be normalized, period. Like it is time for people to be able to say, I need some help. I need to talk to somebody. I have this trauma bond that I need to work through,
mm.
because trauma bonds are a thing. So
Yep.
we need to make sure that we are allowing people to go through the processes that they need to get themselves into a better place and just be whole. overall as a people. Number 11, not telling your child's business to the whole family and or your friends. Growing up, we are always told what goes on in this house stays in this house. So I'm trying to figure out why that doesn't apply to the children in the house as well. So if somebody had to, go on timeout or messed up your makeup or spilled something in the kitchen, you don't have to call grandma. Like let the kids be. What goes on in this house stays in this house is for me and you, mom. Like so as parents, as kids, we always like, oh my god, mama always telling everybody she didn't call aunt so and so, uncle so and so. No, so like when you were a kid and your mama told all your business, you knew that you was like, oh my gosh. So why, as an adult, are you then doing the same thing to your child? We said we're not going to be our parents, and here we go doing the same stuff. What goes on in this house stays in this house, and it should apply to the children too.
Agreed. I think that if you don't keep it all in the family, you can keep it all in the family. But if not, you can take it to therapy. It don't need to run through the family. It don't need to be on the grapevine. It don't need to be on none of those things. You just need to stay in the house. Number 12, LGBTQX rights and representation. I'm tired of folks talking about it's hard, pronouns are hard. Nah, homie, they not hard. Like pronouns are hard. You've been doing pronouns your entire life. Just because I come up to you, a whole life.
Whole
Just because
life.
I come up to you and say mine or them and they, that doesn't make it difficult to speak to me. You know, not at all. Like your
Right.
assumptions about my
Yeah.
how I identify or my gender or any of those things are irrelevant until I tell you what
Mm-hmm.
I identify as or what my identity is
Mm-hmm.
or what my gender is. Like that is my decision. Not it's not up to your assumption. Also, representation. I'm
Yeah.
tired of folks in Congress and state legislators making laws that ain't got nothing to do with them. Now, there's a law in Tennessee right now that's trying to prevent transgender children from playing sports. And I'm like, why?
Wow.
For what? Like, what good does this bring?
Yeah.
Like, these are kids
Wow.
trying to like have middle school or high school experiences, and because you
Yeah.
want to like differentiate and make people fit into your boxes, it makes you feel uncomfortable that they don't like quote fit the quote unquote norm. Like, what is normal? What is that? It doesn't
Yeah.
exist. So
Yeah.
let's normalize removing normal or binary. There are non-binary folks. Like there are all types of different
Mm-hmm.
individuals, and they all need representation. They all need to be. They all need to have the rights of humans because at the end of the day, they're humans.
Mm-hmm.
So that affords them civil rights. That affords them respect. They're all human. They need health
Mm-hmm.
care. They need to be able to have the
Mm-hmm.
life that everybody else is afforded to. And just because they don't necessarily present in the way that makes you comfortable doesn't make them less than. Maybe that's something you should go to therapy for.
Exactly. Well said. I think a good example. Well, actually, I think the word that we need to put in there is acceptance. We need to make sure that we are accepting of people for who they are, where
Period.
they are. Like, life already is hard enough
Mm-hmm.
as it is. So it's just time to make sure that we are accepting of everyone, to include those that identify or don't identify in the same way that you identify as, like, just acceptance, rights, healthcare, just civil liberties, just overall being able to be, just let people be in
Yes.
2021.
Let me
Just let people
live.
be.
That's
That's all
it.
I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to do. Yeah, we need to throw a bonus in there and let's normalize that there is no such thing as normal.
All facts. All facts. Every time I see
Yeah,
something that says we're going to return to normalcy, nah, homie, we are not. We're not returning to normalcy.
yeah,
So let's figure out a way to
yeah.
build this new normal that we can exist in together with inclusion, with diversity, with equity, with no being no, with men emoting, with gender
Yes.
equality, with the
Okay.
acceptance that America has never been great.
Listen, there's a lot to normalize in 2021. We just gave you a quick top 12 on our list of things to normalize, and we hope that you have, enjoyed this conversation, have been able to say, let me think of some things that I think should be normalized as well. You can always leave them in the comments, things that you feel we may have missed that are important that we need to normalize. Drop them
Yeah.
down below. And as always, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Like, share, comment, hit that notification bell. Make sure that you stay in the know.
Yep, and don't forget that you can watch season 1 of Discourse and Chill on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, and Castbox. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow wherever you listen to podcasts, and we will see you next time. Peace out, y'all.
Bye, guys.